Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cash back really adds up.
Tough to believe Domino's has never had stuffed crust pizza until now, right? Well, it's here. And it's delicious. It's stuffed with melty cheese, baked with melty cheese, and sprinkled with garlic seasoning and real Parmesan. Yep, that's even more cheese. Order Domino's new Parmesan stuffed crust pizza for $10.99 each when you mix and match 2 or more items. Price is higher for some locations. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. Delivery orders subject to local store's delivery charge. 2-item minimum. For additional terms and conditions, visit Domino's.com.
Edit audio.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Hopkins, and this is Well Adjusting, where I talk to people about life stuff, but not in an NPR way. It's more like we're at the bar, having cocktails, getting into your business sort of way.
It's giving drunk NPR.
Oh, and producer Steph is here too.
Hello.
Today we chat, 100 episodes of love, laughter, and a little bit of advice that we hope helped. All right, I have a question for you.
Oh, no.
Do you remember the origin, the moment? Because I remember the exact moment that we decided we were going to do Well Adjusting or a podcast.
I do not.
You
but
do not.
I have a notoriously terrible memory and other good qualities.
This I know is true. Okay. Well, so I could tell you exactly where I was. All right. I was sitting on my couch. You were over. We were having cocktails. And I was in the middle of wrapping up a previous long-term project that you also worked on. And if you recall, I was at a crossroads and I was feeling a little low. And I kind of had an idea for what I wanted to do next. I knew I wanted to do a podcast because I had been working on this book proposal. It was called, is called, still in the Dropbox. It's called Shit I Learned from My Crappy Childhood. And I've since made a Substack about
Subscribe to the Substack.
RobinHopkins.substack.com. And... So I'm like a bit lost. I've got this idea, but it's like I just knew I wanted to do something, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was. And like, look, I think at this point I can admit that I was in that place. Like, I think even sometimes when business partnerships break up, there can be a shaking of one's confidence. Mm-hmm. And I was definitely feeling like that. I was feeling like, well, who's going to want to work with me and who's going to want to, and like, I don't want to never be as successful as I want. Like, I was really feeling kind of blue about it. I was, as the kids today say, I was feeling away about it. And, I just kind of said, I'd like to do a thing. Like, if this is where I'm going, like, I might want to do this. And you were just like without knowing the idea, without anything, you just said, well, let's make your next podcast an edit audio original. And I was like, you don't have any idea. Like, you just 100% were like, sure. Let's just do it.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
It is very, but does that jog your memory at all?
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I do remember where we were in your house, weirdly.
Yeah,
but I don't remember.
Much like today, we were drinking margaritas.
I don't know if I knew that it was like as pivotal of a moment.
Yeah, it really was because I was trying to sort some things out, and what was so wonderful about it is just like your belief in me was like, oh, okay, great. There's something here. Yeah. And then like your amazing team came in and all of a sudden we're like fleshing this thing out. And now we are fucking sitting here having a cocktail because, not just because we normally would do a cocktail, but we're doing it because this is our 100th episode. Like, that's insane. 100. Like 2.5 years.
That's so cool.
Right?
2.5 years.
I think we started talking in spring 2022, and then we went live in the fall.
Wow, 2.5 years. That's really impressive. I haven't hated you once.
We haven't even had, I fight with everybody. We haven't had any fights.
No.
We haven't, I'm knocking wood. I'm knocking wood because I don't want to have any fights. Without getting too like sappy, it has been such a joy. You know, there are so many times where I'm in a place and we start a record and just the privilege of sitting with someone and hearing their story and like the details that someone will share or just being like the energy of like helping somebody like see something that differently. Because it's like, I'm not saying I'm fixing anybody.
No.
But I'm just saying like the idea of like helping, like that energy. It's almost like in, stay with me. It's almost like in like 12 steps, they always talk about like people sponsor and you help because it helps you. And I do think that there is a whole undercurrent of it. It has helped me significantly.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think
how has it helped you, Steph?
I think it's helped me in like a few ways.
But if you were just like, it hasn't.
It hasn't at all. Like, I actually hate it. I hate it here. No, it's helped me in like a few ways. I think it's helped me in like a producer context. And it has also like as my job on the show. And it's also helped me like mental health and whatever wise too. But I think the thing that I only recently have been realizing, I was in like a meeting with Crystal from my team and she was like, you're like a full ass like co-host of the show. You're like
Do
talent.
you not know that?
I did not. I was like imposter syndroming, I think. Like, I don't think I ever was like.
You had to be. You are a host of the show.
I know, but I guess in my head, that's just like I don't
you're
know.
Just like lady with the headphones being like,
yeah,
let's check on 2.
I don't know what, but I had some sort of block there and some sort of like fear of stepping into that. And I think I'm trying now to like own that more. And that's only like the last 3 months. So I think that's really cool.
Okay.
And then, you know, brain wise, I feel right now that I'm like, oh, I'm actually like in an okay place. And I don't know. I almost feel like having these conversations makes me be able to relate to a past version of myself or something.
Yeah.
And even if that's like an only 2 years ago self, that I can be like, oh, okay, like I've changed a little bit since then. I've grown a little bit. I've seen this in a different way. I've like said this in a different way. Like you always stop me when I'm being a dick to myself and are like, let's like,
let's reframe that in real time.
Yeah. And so I think that's helpful. And like, I can hear that in my brain now. So even if that's like a little thing, like I'm a dick to myself all the time.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I think
not, oh God, yeah. That sounds like you're like,
meaning like,
you are a dick.
No, meaning like we all do. I do that too.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, I mean, we all do. We're all meanest to ourselves. Like the things we would say to our friends, we would not.
Oh, never.
We would never say the things to our friends that we say about ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty common.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think for me, I feel like I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm in a better place, but I am in a better place. But it's like, I also have like come into like perimenopause in the midst of this and then into like, I think I could be in menopause, but whatever. I'm in that shit. And then that has like thrown me for a loop. But this process and doing this has forced me to be like take a look. Like I'm going to go back to the episode where you hoodwinked me.
I didn't hoodwink.
You fucking hoodwinked me.
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't. I
like
swear.
Long silence. All I know is like the prep meeting was Steph and Robin own up to something, or what was the title?
Telling themselves.
Telling themselves. And then it just became Robin tells on herself. Anywho, it was very helpful, but it was helpful in the sense that like just recognizing, oh, I'm feeling like in and out, up and down, all around. And I'm just trying to like get my bearings and I don't necessarily have them. And the show forced me to, like, I would have felt, and I even did for a minute, like I was just feeling like a fucking hypocrite being like, are you talking to anybody? Are you, you know, like, and I was not, but I was like feeling unhappy or sad or mad and just like nowhere to put that. And that episode did really help me. I mean, although I'm not listening to it. That episode. It's not for me. It's not for me, Madge. That's
because of what? There's like guilt associated with it?
No, it was like, that's part of like goes back to people sharing their stuff with us. It was too, like I said, a lot of things. And like, sometimes I think, and this happens for me with writing too. The mic is on or I'm writing. Like, I think of this as just like, it's a safe space for me to say all the things, but there's a part of my brain that is literally off that people are going to hear this. Because I just put it away. And then afterward, I'm like, oh, I did say all that. Because I was getting a lot of emails like, hope you're okay, pal. Like I was getting a lot of that.
Oh.
Because by the time it aired, I was feeling a lot better. So it was like...
Yeah, you're like, what are you talking about?
I was like, I've got Patricia back.
But so this helped you because you went back to therapy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also it was healing for me, you know, like in this new place, like, you know, coming out of one partnership, it was very healing for me to be in a nice work environment and to be, you know, like you and your fucking team are amazing.
Aww.
Like, I mean, we're friends, like, but like, it's a nice bonus that you and your team are so amazing.
Yeah. I love my team.
Yeah.
I love my team.
No, they're fantastic.
They're awesome.
It's like this show would not be what it is if I had just made this on my own. It would be, I mean, it would have a lot of elements, but it would not be.
I wouldn't be here.
And everyone would be like, oh my God, shut up. All right,
That's nice.
Thank you. I'm uncomfortable. We're going to move right along. Okay. So our producer, editor extraordinaire, I should like PEE, like, no.
You're going to call her
P. Maria. Has made some clips for us that we have not listened to.
Oh God.
Which I'm scared, frightened.
I'm excited.
But scared a
They're
little bit.
probably cute.
I hope so. I hope they're cute. What if they're like mean spirited?
Then we'll find out.
Then we'll be like, I guess some
We'll need
people
more
are
cocktails.
happy on your team. All right. Since we were just talking about therapy, there's a clip titled Therapy. Here we go.
I think I genuinely have a lot of demands and I don't know how to put myself first. You're good, Steph. How much do I owe you?
Is this supposed to be my therapy session? Because that's what it is.
This is kind of like my cheap version of doing therapy.
I'm not paying you for this therapy session, Steph.
I'm so happy I don't have a therapist because I just want to meet with you guys once a week.
I truly feel like this has been a therapy session for me.
Oh, you know what's so interesting too is like hearing those voices. It's like I can feel where I was sitting when we had those conversations.
Same.
I can feel like, but like, what a fucking honor. Like, you know
That
what I
is
mean?
an honor. It scares me a little.
What, like a lot. Because it's just like, also because like we are not fucking qualified.
No.
But I also think we don't act like we are.
No, I don't think anyone is like, oh my God.
Nobody's like really
professional.
Yeah. Nobody's like really going like, oh, maybe I could schedule a weekly with those two. Like that. No one's doing that.
But it is super nice. I feel like I hope at least the thing to me that I hope it feels like therapy about is like that like release or like relief after you say something.
Yes.
And maybe someone else picking it apart with you.
Well, that's the whole thing is like, I did feel like when you hoodwinked me, and she did hoodwink me, I did feel better after. I always feel lighter after saying a thing, but I don't take it lightly that people are bringing their stuff to us. Cause it's like people are saying real vulnerable things.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like they're letting us in. And so it's like, I feel like there's a real responsibility to be like, okay, like to say things gently and to like, and I think it's important, you know, we've talked about this before. Like I have said that I was like a bull in a china shop in my 20s, my 30s. I'd be like, no, let's get into your shit. And even if people didn't want to, I was still going to kind of force it. Like, and I was coming from like, I can see a thing and it's my responsibility. And it's like in hindsight, that was A, not my responsibility. B, like, who the fuck are you could see a thing? Nobody asked.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people asked, you know, but then sometimes people didn't. Like,
but you were like more of a steamroller.
Yeah, I was. And now I'm like, I think there's something really valuable that people are coming to us. And it means they're in a place and they're ready. And like, if I were to say some of the shit you said, like, I would be like, I'd be waking up at 3 a.m. and be like, I can't believe I said that aloud. I hope she doesn't think about that. I know I'm embarrassed I said that.
Yeah, I have a shockingly low level of shame for someone who is raised Catholic. But I think what's beautiful and what we've learned is like, you know, how to identify when guests are like ready to be open.
Yeah,
and
you're very good at that.
Open.
You're very good at that. Like you are always reading their faces because I'm usually trying to move it
along.
Not move it along from like a fucking get that shit out faster, but move it along from like I can see something that they said and I'm like, I think that's tied to this. And I'm thinking about trying to like say a thing that's going to be like, have you thought about this?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons it's really nice to have you there as well. Obviously, other than all the good shit, but like, because it's a double protection of us checking. Cause I think that's important. Because not
Yeah.
everybody is like you. Like, I think a lot more people are like me who are just like, I feel so dirty.
Yeah. And I think it's like really beautiful that people want to be vulnerable with us and share things. And what I think is even more cool, and I know I say this all the time, but like people reach out after.
They do. When we get updates
and like, thank you. This like did a lot for me. Like literally just 2 days ago, someone messaged me, hey, I just wanted to say like that conversation did a lot for me. And I'm thinking of like doing this other thing with my career.
The most amazing thing is when someone emails and says, I was listening to a show. I really loved it. It was helpful. Like someone who's not connected to that show. And then is like, I'd love to talk about X, Y, and Z. Like that is just like, because like we're just like some two idiots like from, the internet.
I'm a genius. Speak for yourself.
Wow.
Just kidding.
I mean,
no. Yeah. I do think that's like really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool that anyone would want to talk to us. Really cool that also like people are brave enough to like, I don't know, reach out. You know what I mean? Like there's a level of like braveness that goes into just reaching out to anyone on the internet, but then to reach out to anyone about like talking about something real, like that's beautiful.
But I always take that as a sign that they're ready. Like, I don't know, there's only way through it is through it. That's what I think. All right, let's move on to another clip.
Oh no.
All right, do you want buckets or homework? I have a feeling what both these. I'm starting to get the sensation that we might be being roasted here in all of these clips.
For sure.
But we're gonna go with it. Homework or buckets?
Let's go homework. I have homework for you.
Oh. Okay, Steph.
I have 2 things, which let me know if you think these are good homeworks. Homework items, homeworks. Assignments.
I feel like this is a moment for Steph and Robin have homework.
I only have one bit of homework.
Normally, Robin and I give people homework. But I actually think like you're good. Like you've done a lot of homework and you're going to continue to do homework.
Our homework to you is really simple.
I'm going to give homework.
Okay. I love the homework section. All right. Well, now we've added to the homework.
We'll be like, what was our homework? Okay.
We did it.
Homework assigned. Check.
I have homework.
Oh, some of you guys.
You never get out with just my homework. Steph is always she takes her little notebook. She's like, I have 5 items.
No, I have that.
Where's our assistant? I think you say homework more than I do.
I do.
I mean, at least according to this clip.
And what is my
that
voice?
P. Maria's made.
I have homework.
Yeah, you do have a special homework voice. I think it's because you're transitioning into, I think you feel like maybe a little bad that you're about to ask them to do some shit. And so you come in and I think you're always trying to be like, I got homework.
Yeah. I'm like,
meanwhile, I'm like, I got shit for you to do. I got 4 items that I need from you that we did this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay, so we give a lot of homework.
Listen, do you think it's bad we give a lot of homework?
No, I think it's great.
First of all, we assign ourselves homework.
Oh, yeah, we do. And I do the homework all the time.
Yeah. 99.9% of the time we do the homework.
Yeah, it helps to have
Sometimes there's a deadline associated with we're like, this episode's going to air and we didn't do our shit.
Yeah, and that's helpful.
Yeah.
I love that. Accountability.
I love an accountability. I mean, like we offer ourselves up as accountability partners to, I don't know, pretty much everybody.
Yeah, I don't feel like the homework's a bad thing. I feel like it's good.
It's a closure on the conversation.
Yeah. And I think both of our toxic trait that is maybe not always toxic is that
I don't know where you're going. So I'm like this. I'm like, what?
We like an action item. We like to okay, we felt some shit. Like, what are we going to do about it?
Yes. I think sometimes when you're in that position, like what was I just talking about earlier about when you hoodwinked me, you're in the middle of it and you're talking about vulnerable things. It's like maybe you're not paying attention. And so I think it's a way of putting a button on things. It's a way of being let's come back to the present. Yeah. Cause it's I don't know, any therapist is always going to be like, you're over here and we're going to bring you back and grounded to where you are.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. I never thought about it that way.
And also you and I like a beginning, middle, and end and homework. We just do.
Yeah, I want the checklist. I want
I want to go fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the homework's going to keep coming.
We're not going to stop.
No, but what's interesting, and you've brought this up to me before, is that like when we made the show,
it was not a thing.
It was not a thing. We never once were we like, okay, segment 3 on this show is going to be homework.
Homework. No. And by the way, like I think a lot of people, like one thing when you listen to a podcast, you don't hear segments, but as like a producer, you're thinking like, what's our intro?
Yeah.
What's our middle section? Then what's our transition? Then what's our outro? Like we did not in any way be like, we will always leave people on homework. It just came very naturally. I think a lot of things in the show did like just really have evolved in that way. And I really do love that.
I love that too. I feel like the baby has grown into a 100-year-old.
It really has. Like I think initially, and this was actually Mary's idea. Mary wanted us to have like a stable of like 4 experts of the day, and that they would be like characters like us. And I really did like that idea, but it also became clear like sometimes like it's interesting to bring in someone who's really specific to the thing or really, just going to have a viewpoint that's going to be for anyone who's feeling what this episode is about. And it allowed us to really bring in a lot more voices, which I think is, I do love the expert of the day as like a wrap up because it's like, I do think it brings a weight of someone saying something, not that we aren't saying legit things, but like someone who's just like, sometimes they're yesing us and sometimes they're reinforcing what we've said, but sometimes they're saying something totally different that's helpful in addition to.
Yeah. Or they're like expanding it.
Yeah. So it's beyond just that one person.
Yeah. And I really love that.
All right. So we've done homework. We've done therapy. All right. There's one called 2 Things Happening in Buckets. I'm going to go with 2 things happening.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. I'm scared. P. Maria, what have you done?
In the middle of the conversation, I said, I'm realizing 2 things are happening here. Okay, so I feel like there's 2 things.
2 things happening. 2 things.
2 things.
2 things happening.
Well, it's like there's 2 things going on at the same time.
2 things that are happening at the same time.
I feel like there's always 2 things.
Oh my God. There is always 2. I stand by that. I think I might say 2 things a lot more than you. I think a bunch of these are my isms.
Yeah, I feel like 2 things is a very Robin thing to say.
It is.
There's 2 things happening here.
But okay. But I stand by the concept of 2 things because I do think that there's oftentimes the thing that's on the surface.
Okay.
And then there's the undercurrent of a thing that's like really running things, like running the show. Like Mary and I had a couples therapist who used to make us do this. Oh my God, it was so hokey.
I love it already.
But she would make us do this whole like planned way of talking. And at the end, like you would say, like, and the other person couldn't say shit. They just had to like repeat back. So it's like, you'd be like, and I feel like you do this. And I feel like, and you'd be like, and what I heard you say is that you feel, right. And so then by the end, the thing was, and that reminds me of, and every fucking time it would remind me of my mom. I'd be like, I feel like I say this and you don't make this change. It's the sponge. We've talked about the sponge thing for years. And it's the sponge. You don't put the sponge away. And I ask you to just put it back in this little fucking caddy. Like, why does it have to live in the sink? And that reminds me of when I would talk to my mom and I would tell her what I would need and she would just disregard it. And it's like, so that's the 2 things. It's,
right.
It's like, we just did that in an episode recently with Teeny, right?
Yeah,
and she was talking about like, trying to current day be her authentic self at work and do all that shit. But then at the same time, like what was going on underneath it was like coming out again. So it's like there is, I really do stand by it.
2 things are happening.
Like right now, 2 things are happening. Like,
yeah.
I'm talking, but I'm also drinking a margarita.
I do think that is true. And I think
maybe I could use different language.
I mean,
but 2 things.
2 things are happening. We got 2 things.
You know what? I worked with this guy and he used to say all the time, bifurcate. I had never heard that word before, but when you hear it, you know exactly what it is. It's like 2 paths that are happening simultaneously or a fork in the road. Like we're going to bifurcate
Bifurcate.
I see what
it's
you did there.
It's a bisexual fork.
I see what you did there. It's like a spork.
Yeah.
But he would say bifurcate all the time. And like, that's my 2 things. Is bifurcate.
There's 2 things happening here.
God, are we just like a cluster of like sayings.
We have 6 sentences.
So we only have 6 sentences.
Among the two of us, we have 1 brain cell, 2 margaritas, and 6 sentences.
Oh, I think I just swallowed a hibiscus leaf.
It's just a flower. It's going to be fine.
I'm going to die.
You're not going to die.
All right. We're going to see what P. Marie has done for us now with while adjusting clip 100 buckets.
And I think a shortcut would be to put things into buckets.
Bucket.
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 Bucket. What are my buckets of things that I want to work on and work toward?
Almost 2 years ago, I was like, okay, I think I'm at a place where I'm like stable enough in buckets 1, 2, and 3 that bucket 4 can like come through a little, you know?
We know what's in that bucket, okay? That bucket is filled with, we want some awards, we want to keep working, we want the money to be where we want it to, but this bucket over here, what's in it? Like,
What is
you-
in that
This is
bucket?
the negative bucket.
Oh, God.
No. The bucket that is joy or happiness or
Okay.
comfortability. Like, what is in the bucket now? What would you like to be in the bucket?
Oh my
That would
God.
make you happy. I've never said bucket so many times in my life. But like, your buckets are uneven.
Your buckets are uneven. At least I'm aware of how many times I say buckets. I said, Steph, your
Bucket
buckets
1.
are uneven.
Oh, bucket 1 and bucket 2.
So, Steph pointing to her boobs for bucket 1 and bucket 2. Listen, I have to say that I think several of these, but especially this one, this is mine, and I made you start saying buckets.
I don't think.
Did you say buckets before me?
No, I don't think I ever said buckets. But literally yesterday, I was in a client meeting and I put everything into buckets for the client. I was like,
you said I'm putting these into buckets?
yeah, I was like, well, maybe it's helpful to think about this as different buckets. Like bucket 1 is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing that in work too. Like,
Well, I want to say 2 things. 2 things are happening at
2
once.
things are.
One, the word bucket sounds like fuck it, which is
Bucket.
when you hear it, it's like
When
bucket,
you hear it
bucket,
like
bucket,
that.
bucket, bucket. So that's number 1. But number 2 is that like I think our brains
Mhm.
work in a way that like separating things out, I find very helpful. And I do
Yeah.
think that when like we've talked about this before, like nobody can have an argument in their head the way that I do. Like, well, no, you can. Or I'm sorry. Let me say it. I'm going to say this 100% better. I didn't mean it like all that was just like bloop, bloop, rewind. What I meant was any person, one person, like the arguments they have with themselves is so much more than what they have externally. Like I got 500 Robins that are having debates. Like smart Robin, dumb Robin, anxious Robin, sad Robin, happy Robin.
Yeah.
They're all like, well, but wait a minute, have you thought about this? And that's happening all the time. So the idea of buckets, I'm literally setting down my drink
God.
to
Here we
because
go.
I'm
We got bucket 1.
because the idea I see it like this, like the pensieve with Harry Potter. Like you take the thought out and you move it into that bucket.
It's like segmenting things. And it's what we were saying at the top of this, which is like, you know, sometimes you come in, it's 2 things are happening. Sometimes there's
2
more
things
than
are
2
happening at
things
once.
happening and they have to go in buckets because otherwise it feels like
You can't.
one big glob.
As I always say, you're in a soup.
You're in a
Because it's
soup.
like you're in a soup or a stew or whatever.
But really, there's a
bouillabaisse.
potato. There's a bowl of potatoes. There's a bowl of
random
onions.
peas floating
Yeah.
by, a piece of steak, not
Put-
in your soup, but
put
in
'em
my
in
soup.
buckets.
Yeah, so you put them out there, but then you can see you got a whole. What are those little white things? Those like the little white
Ramekin.
ramekin. You got a whole ramekin of peas. You got to deal with the peas. Can anyone stay with me on this analogy?
Yeah.
Like, but if you've only got 1 piece of beef in the stew and 1 piece of potato, but you got 400 peas, then you can go, wow, I really have to like look at my mom.
I have to look at.
Could anyone follow that?
I got it. The bucket is too full. Bucket 1 is too full.
I have to say, I am greatly surprised that P. Maria did not make a clip of my really random,
Oh, I know them.
like my random analogies.
Oh.
Like, but because it's like,
I was going to say that you have like a few things that you say all the time, which are.
oh,
And by the way,
I didn't know I said that until this team.
Well, and then whatever. Well, and then you'll go into this thing and
that's like, I want to say something nice before I'm about to say
yeah,
something else.
yeah.
But I do have these very like weird analogies that'll just like, I'll go down some path. But in the moment, I think I'm a very visual thinker. Like I can just see,
the bouillabaisse.
I can literally see a bucket or I can see the soup and the word just pops up to me and then I have to run with it.
Yeah, but
and
maybe we need like another bucket.
Another bucket of analogies.
Another word for bucket. Bucket sounds so much like fuck it.
It does.
Now
But
that
maybe
when
that's why I like
fuck
it.
Fuck it. Like,
Maybe that's why I like it. Like, fuck this shit.
yeah, fuck the buckets.
Well, okay. So thank God that's all the clips.
Oh,
because I don't know.
We did it.
Next we did.
I feel like we just got absolutely roasted by Maria.
I do think P. Maria took some liberties there. But listen, she did pull it from our audio.
Yeah, so we did say it. So.
We said all those things. I stand by it. I bifurcate it. So I'm turning it into a verb. Let's bifurcate this.
Yeah.
Let's make t-shirts. Bifurcate this.
Down. Let's make buckets.
I feel like we talk all the time about my 5-year plan, the Great You plan, about like setting yourself up. So I want to ask you, I think we should both answer this. This is our homework.
Oh, God.
Like, what if you were to say your word for the next 50 episodes?
Okay.
Number 2, a goal for yourself, a goal for the show. And whatever order you choose.
That's a lot. Okay. My goal for myself, not relating to the show?
Not relating to the show.
My goal for myself is just to I feel like I'm in a good place and I want to focus more on that. So my goal for myself,
or
I don't know, because I really do have a lot of fun. Like I'm not, you know,
I
mean,
you
I
live
feel
your
like
best life.
enjoying.
I get all the party invites. I don't go,
yeah,
but I get all the party invites.
I feel like the enjoying, like that word gives like I'm not having enough fun, and I don't think that's it. It's more like, you know, when you like jump, you remember like long jump where you have to like plant both feet?
Yeah.
It's that. Like I feel like I have to like jump and like I have to like land into my feeling goodness. I think I just need to like almost I have to trust myself.
Okay.
I have to trust that the goodness is real.
Okay.
That's my goal for myself.
My goal for myself, and I feel like it's maybe been my goal for a while, is I like and by the way, again, stay with me.
By the way,
stay with me. It's like 2 things just happen at once.
2 things are happening
like
at
all
once.
3 of my things just I think it's a drinking game.
Yeah.
We've turned the show into a drinking game. Don't do shots.
Drink every time Robin says, and by the way, or
alternate with water because we want you to be not die.
Yeah.
There's this movie from late 80s, early 90s.
The ladies.
Matthew Modine, Michael Schoffling, the really handsome guy from 16 Candles, called Vision Quest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this moment they're hiking in the woods, and I've never forgotten this. And he's, of course, 17, he's angsty. He's like, I said, I feel like my life is happening around me. It's all happening, but I can't feel it. And I have never, I just like, it hit me so at such a core level. And I do sometimes feel like I'm checking boxes and I'm doing all the things. And I just want to be able to pause and sit and like look around and see all that's happening. So I would like to, I don't think it's realistic to say like solve that, but I would like to have more moments where I am in my life versus watching my life. Might have been because I had therapy today.
Can I change mine to that? Because I also need to do that.
Well, that's why we're very similar. Like,
yeah.
I think checklisters are watching a film of their lives often more so than being in it.
And I'm moving so fast. Like I'm just doing all the things
so fast
all
you
the
can't
time.
feel things. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, so we got 50
Something
episodes to figure that out.
unpack.
In a
And we'll come
later
back to that.
episode. Okay, so
goal for the show.
Yeah.
My goal for the show. I have 2. Can I have 2?
Mhm.
My goal for the show, number 1.
I mean, it's our podcast. You can have 5.
Yeah.
Will they stay? I don't know.
I want to grow our listenership by 20%.
Okay. A percentage.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I also want, my other goal is I want to do some episodes either about like sex stuff or just like gayer, fringer topics.
Okay.
I want like more fringe topics.
Okay.
And I think that's just, I feel like with 100 episodes now, like we've like talked to a lot of really cool people.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just like, well, what haven't we talked about? Like,
interesting.
And there's so many things, like there's so many ways to come at even the same, like,
yeah,
root
even
issue.
with the same topic, they're different when a different
Yeah.
person says it.
Yeah. So I think I'm just like what's the most like
What else?
fringe, like what else? What is there? So I mean, pitch to if anyone has a thing that they want to unpack with us.
Hello at editodd.io. Hello at editodd.io. I could do it.
100 episodes, Robin.
It's such a hard
It's
email
bad.
address.
Yeah, it's hard. It's not bad. It's hard. What's your goal for the show?
I mean, growth. I mean, and the growth is like, I mean, I don't feel like I need to say this, but like, it's not from like a growth point of view. It's not like more money. Like, it's like this, you know, it's more just like, I want our community to grow. Like, I want more people, because I think like how cool would it be as a world where there's like a Discord channel and there's like shit where like people are checking in on each other and like working with each other, and there's like accountability party channels and just like a bigger community of people, because I do think that a lot of people are in a space, and it's just like I want the growth for people to find the space, like to know we're out here, you're not alone, you know.
I love that. Maybe we should have a summit.
Right. Let's have a summit.
Yeah, I love that. Growth.
Okay. All right, growth. Okay.
And then my word. Okay, my word is kind of out of left field now after the other things we talked about, but
is the word for the words for the show.
Yeah.
It was my game and I already forgot it. Okay, go.
I mean, this is a word that came to me, so I'm just going to run with it. Is fun.
Oh.
And I
was coming, all my words are business.
Not the right reaction. Oh.
No, I meant that's good.
Mine is just like...
Mine are all businessy, which is like, oh, like, well, I had this whole fucking thing about living in the moment and being in the moment, and then I was coming back with like quarterly returns words.
Okay.
Well, I like
interesting.
That. But our words can work together.
Yeah, mine's fun because I just think the thing that keeps the show going and the thing that makes it rewarding and the thing that, like, I think makes people listen is that, like, the world is so hard. And I feel like right now it's especially hard for a lot of people. And, like, we have, like, a little, I don't know, cozy corner or something. Or, like, a nice little respite. And, like, the more fun we can have. And, like, it's not like we're having fun. Like, you can talk about shit, real shit that's, like, hard to talk about, but still be like, well, this is nice. Like, this is
always
nice
been the
place.
mission.
Yeah.
That has always been the mission, is that we're not doing a fucking TED Talk.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, because I think you could talk about death and laugh.
Yeah.
You could talk about menopause and depression and laugh. I mean, maybe less so with depression, but sometimes I still fucking laugh about depression. It's just,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, life is hard. These are the moments, you know? These are the things that bring us together.
So that's my word.
Okay. I mean...
quarterly return.
I mean, well, because my words are growth and community. Like, but they were said in that. So then I'm like, can I push myself? And by the way, this is how fucking insane I am. And by the way,
take a shot.
This is how, no, not a shot, just a small sip. I'm your mom. Like this is how insane I am, is that I was just like, oh, well, we kind of did this backwards. The word should start, and then out of the word should come this, and then the person. Like, that's how crazy I am.
Well, what's interesting is I did the opposite, because I was like, I'm going to end on fun, and I know that, so I should start with the serious and end on the fun, so that we have a nice closer and we can cheers.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in our brains.
So many producers.
Okay, there's producer Steph.
Too many producers in the room.
There's producer Steph 2, and there's many in your head. Okay, so well. I think it is as simple as growth and community. It's because I think those two things are drivers of both sides of me, right? The one side, growth, is the clipboard side of me that's just like, we got to get this to more people for all the reasons. And
we
community,
do. Share it to someone who would like.
But community, because it's like, it doesn't exist without the people. It doesn't exist without the people because there's no questions without the people. Mm-hmm. There's no discussion. It's just me and you being like, I'm having a bad day. It doesn't exist without the authenticity, without the vulnerability, without the heart and the laughter and the joy and the emotions. That is what makes this show. That's what, like, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with every podcast that has an expert and then they talk through topics. Those are enlightening. There's a time and a place for that. But I think that we are always being educated. We're always being talked to. We're always working. And I want to make working on yourself fun. Or as fun
Almost like
as
your
it
work
as
word is
fun as it
fun.
could be.
Yeah.
Right? As fun as it could be. So it lives in those two things. It lives in growth, it lives in community, and your word fun, which to me is the most perfect way to like wrap this out, is because the reason that we don't fight, the reason that this show, like 2.5 years has flown by, is because there's a synergy that's like our brains have melded somewhere along the way. Like I'm always like, and here comes, I know what she's about to say. And there's, I can only think of like a couple of times where you thought I was going to say something different. Most of the time it is that you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah. And I think we have fun. I have fun.
Of course we do.
Yeah. And that's really cool. And I think there's like a connection that comes from it.
Yes.
Like that's the community part, you know?
Yeah.
And even when I listen to old episodes, I'm like drawing more parallels between myself and I don't know. It's cool to feel connected. So thank you for 100
Thank you.
episodes.
I truly can say this, and I'm not lying. It's like I've loved every minute of this.
Me too.
Like even we have a weekly like production meeting. We have to, like, someone has to come in and be like, guys, we gotta circle the trains, because we're just like, and then one time, it's like even our production meetings are amazing. And to that end, like this whole fucking team, I mean, we've said it throughout this episode, but like P, producer, editor, Maria, like there is nothing she can't do. I mean, production manager, Kathleen, like
talk about circling a train.
Talk about circling the trains, but also doing it with like such warmth and love. Like she's amazing. Meg, just like
Hilarious.
She kicked out a social the other day of like my drink going down in the episode with our Ask a Therapist one. And I was like, fair play. Genius. I was like, that is fucking funny. Mel, who's just like continuously the heart of raising awareness for the show, and Crystal, who's out there helping to try to get money for us so that we can keep the train going.
Give us money, sponsor us,
please. BetterHelp, whoever's out there. But it's like the whole team is amazing. But I think the most important thing is that like none of this happens without people listening, people downloading, people suggesting, people reviewing, just being in our orbit. So I thank you for allowing us to make 100 episodes.
So crazy,
right? Because by the way, it could have been like that we made 4 and just like no one showed up.
I saw a stat the other day that was like 90% of podcasts only get 10 episodes.
Or it used to be 6. It used to be 6.
Fact check that, but yeah.
No, that's true. And also, by the way, like at one point we're in the top 5% of all podcasts.
That's pretty cool.
Like that's amazing. And that's because you guys are listening and you're there. So I hope that we've helped make your day a little bit brighter. I hope that we have helped a little bit. I know it's helped me.
It's helped me, and it makes my day brighter.
It
so,
does.
Thank you.
On, one more cheers.
Cheers.
And seriously, we mean it. If you want to be on the podcast, hit us up at hello@editodd.io. I did it. Oh my
God, it only took 100 episodes, y'all.
I fucking did it. See you at 101.
See you at 101.
For more Robin, and you may need that, you probably don't need it, but like if you do, you can follow me at Real Rob Hops on all the platforms, all the socials, as the kids today say. Well Adjusting is an Edit Audio original series. It's exec produced by Steph Colburn and Robin Hopkins. Our producer and editor is Maria Passingham, and our production manager is Kathleen Speckert. Thank you to the entire Edit Audio team and to you for listening.
100. I am really proud of us.